What's up guys, it's ALLDAYANTHONY. Welcome back to the Civic vlog that you hopefully know and hopefully love. And in today's video, we're just doing a quick wash. Okay guys, so I know I've been on a bit of a hiatus on YouTube and I haven't put out any content for over a month now, and I am sorry about that. I took a 2-week vacation to Europe and unfortunately didn't have any videos lined up while I was gone. However, now that I am back, I'm excited to get back into the groove of things and start putting up more consistent content. Now in this video, I am trying something different. I'm actually wearing a chest mount rather than a head mount for the POV view. Now I know a lot of people complain that they get really dizzy when I'm doing a lot of movement and moving around and looking around a lot. So I thought I'd try this chest mount to see if I can stabilize things and make it a little bit easier to follow for people watching. Now in this video, we're actually gonna be doing a quick wash. Just like I said, it's gonna be just a quick wash and chat. Since I was gone, my Civic got pretty dang dirty. It sat outside for a couple days while my brother was staying at my house, and yeah, it got pretty dirty. So first thing I wanted to do now that I'm back is actually do a quick wash. Now to be honest, I wasn't planning on making this video. I was hoping to have something else cooler out there than this, but I thought, heck, it's been a month. I don't wanna wait another week or another 2 weeks before I put out another video. So I thought, why not wash it? I know people like seeing the Civic here, so why not clean it up and make it shiny for the upcoming weeks. So with that said, I have some stuff over here that we're gonna quickly go over. Okay, I really have no idea how this view looks. I have no way of knowing how it looks. I just know that typically when I have a head mount, I just assume that the camera is pointing whatever I'm facing and whatever I'm looking at. When it's on my chest, stomach area, I don't know, I'm hoping it's close to the same thing, but just let me know down in the comments if you guys hate this or if you love it. We're just gonna go for it. Quick wash. I'm not gonna overly complicate things. I'm not gonna dive too far into everything. We are gonna be doing a soap and water wash on the Civic, meaning I'm gonna be using a 2-bucket method, using some car soap. I'm just gonna use the hose because my pressure washer decided to die on me today out of nowhere, so whatever, but that works out because I have a new toy that I want to play with, actually a couple new toys that I want to play with, so I'm going to show you what those are here in just a second, but basically I have some chemicals over here, I have some towels, drying towels, wheel towels, brushes here, I have my wash bucket, I have my rinse bucket, and then I have a wheel bucket because we're going to knock out the wheels first. So that's kind of the plan. I've done wash videos before, I've done stuff like this before on the channel, so I don't want to keep making the same video over and over again, so I thought with a couple new things to introduce to the channel and kind of my regimen on washing and stuff, I figured why the heck not, we'll just make a video on it. Okay, so this guy right here is not new to me, but it's definitely gonna be new to the channel. It's something that I haven't used on the channel before. So this is the IK Foam Pro 12. This is basically a dedicated foamer to foam an entire car, just like you would a snow foam lance on a pressure washer. This is the same concept, except you don't need a pressure washer. Now, the next cool thing I picked up is this guy right here. Now, I totally convinced the wife that this was meant for yard work, but it's gonna be kind of a dual purpose thing here. So basically, I got it for yard work, blowing grass clippings, things like that, but I also got it to dry off my car when I need to. This is the Ego blower. It's pretty freaking powerful. I wanna say it's 560, 580 CFM or something like that. It's pretty cool. I've used it for yard work, but I haven't used it on my car yet. I do have a Metro blower that I'll typically use, but I wanted to try this thing out and see if I like it and see if it's any better. So we'll find out here in just a little bit. So next up here, I'm just gonna blow through the rest of some old shampoo I have. I think I actually got this, I think close to 4 years ago here on the channel. But this is just a wash. We're just getting the Civic cleaned up because I have some upcoming videos I want to do. I want to take some photos of it. And then also I want to take it down to a guy who is going to possibly be painting this door over here. And he wants to see it with the car cleaned up. So that's kind of the goal here. So let's get started. Now, normally I wouldn't spray down the whole car before diving in on the wheels, but I'm just gonna do this really fast. So it's gonna be a really quick wheel cleaning job because I wanna foam this thing up and get it going because the water here is pretty hard. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward. A little bit of brake buster here. So that's just brake buster straight, and this is the older bottle. This isn't the newest bottle that they have, so that's why it looks a little bit different. So lugs, really quick. You can already see it working on the tires. Go around with this tire brush. Gets rid of all that brown on the tires. And then from there, do the barrels. Now I freaking hate this brush because the second you pull it out, it flicks back all this crap at you. But now most people use a brush on the wheels. My wheels just never get dirty enough to use a brush. Like, see that dirt? It's about as bad as it gets. So this is called the Minx. I like this because it's super soft, but it's also really pliable, so I can just push it into tighter areas. If that makes sense. If that doesn't make sense, let me know. All right, so now it's time for the fun stuff. So now we get to foam the Civic. So I have the IK Foam Pro 12 here. I have my air compressor. So we're just gonna fill this up like it's a tire. Start to see that it's bubbling and working. Then we'll hear that the release valve will pop up once it's full. It's still filling with air. Now I have my air compressor set to a pretty low setting, so it's gonna take just a minute. There we go. So it makes that cool sound, and that's when you know it's ready to go. All right, so let's go ahead and foam the car. All right, probably not gonna do a whole lot of talking here, just normal 2-bucket method. So soapy bucket, watery bucket. We're gonna do close to a panel at a time, flip the mitt, go back in a clean bucket, rinse it out, go back into the soapy bucket. That makes sense? All right, so let's go ahead and give this bad boy a whirl. So max power right here. So that's the lowest, that's the max. Then you have a turbo boost button. So, oh yeah, dude, this thing is pretty powerful. So. Now really quick, obviously you don't need this blower. You can do the same thing with another blower, but the idea is just to blow it off mostly dry, leave a little bit of water on there. That way we can come back with a microfiber towel and a drying aid or like a gloss enhancer to beef up the shine. So I'm not going for completely dry. I just want you to guys know that. I'm just going for just kind of dry. All right, so we just finished blowing, not sucking, get it? Anyway, so the towel I'm using to dry, I'm using the Twistress from the Rag Company. I love this towel. Now, normally I would use P&S Bead Maker as my drying aid. Adds a lot of gloss, adds a really slick feel, but I think I'm gonna change it up today, just to use something a little bit different. So I'm gonna use Sonax BSD, diluted 1:1. It's also good. I like it, but again, I have a lot of extra product here at my house that I just want to blow through, and I always find that I use Bead Maker, so I just want to change it up and use something different. So I'm going to use BSD. Now, the car is mostly dry. It still has some water on it, but that's kind of how I want it. So basically how this is going to work is get the BSD here, a couple sprays onto the towel, a couple sprays onto the surface, and then just dry it in. And now what this is doing is this is adding protection, obviously, and some gloss. So it makes my car nice and shiny for pictures and for video stuff. So I told myself I wasn't gonna use Bead Maker on this wash, and I lied. I just love Bead Maker so much. Now I know I was using BSD at 1:1, so I know it's not like the full experience, but the reason why I diluted it in the first place was because it was so freaking thick. I mean, quite literally, it's like shooting out a wad every time I sprayed out that product. So I diluted it to have it go further and obviously get a little bit more bang for my buck, but it's just not as slick as Bead Maker. And Bead Maker is just so cost efficient and so cheap that I just would rather use this 9 out of 10 times. So whatever, here's what it is. Yeah, those look good. And then for the tires, I'll probably use some type of dressing on those here in just a minute. Now for the tires, I'm just using Meguiar's number 40 in a spray bottle here, a little red applicator. So you don't need a whole lot, like that's almost too much. So just a water-based dressing. It keeps the tires from browning out too bad. Like if you're using like a silicone drip, Jesus. All right guys, so just finished dressing the tires, and that pretty much wraps it up. Now, I'm probably gonna sound like a crazy person for saying this. I actually know I'm gonna sound like a crazy person for saying this, but I feel like I totally half-assed that wash. Like normally when I wash my car, I do a little bit more methodically and have a little bit more fun with it. It's more relaxed and it's not so much on a time crunch. There's two types of washes that I do on my vehicles. That's the have fun, enjoy it, crack open a beer, and take your time method. And then there's just the get it done method. And I felt like today was just the get it done, right? I know to some people it may have been like going above and beyond, but really, normally I have more fun with it. I take my time, but if I were to do that, it'd be like an hour-long video, and I doubt that you guys want to see that. So in summary, what we ended up doing was just rinsing it with a hose, then foamed it with that IK Foam Pro 12. I was trying out a different soap, and I wasn't really a huge fan of it, but you know, whatever. So basically, foamed up the car, washed it down with a wash pad using the 2-bucket method, and then dried it with that new Ego blower, which I think did an okay job. In terms of a comparison to like my Metro blower, they're pretty similar. I mean, it's not a perfect system, but I mean, it works. And then we just dried it up and used Sonax BSD as our drying aid for the exterior of the car. And then I used Bead Maker for the wheels and the door jambs. But overall, I think the car looks good. And lastly, I just wanted to thank you guys for sticking around on the channel. I know I haven't been making content as consistently as I would like to. Now here's the deal. I told you guys I went to Europe for a couple weeks and didn't have any content lined up. That was kind of a lie. So I have been trying to make videos. That's something that I think a lot of people don't. It's kind of hard to explain, but I have been going out to try to make videos. Everything has just gone horribly wrong as I've been trying to make those videos. Like I've had batteries fail on me out of nowhere. I've had SD cards fail on me. I've had all sorts of weird crap. There's a wasp nest, there's a bee right there that I found up in there. It's like the world is against me when I'm trying to make these videos and I don't understand. So I had gone out to make, I think, 3 or 4 different videos covering different topics before I left on my trip, and literally all of them either sucked or something happened and I couldn't finish them. So that's kind of that. I'm not trying to make excuses, but that's just kind of how video making works. It's not always a perfect system. So again, sorry for the lack of content, but thank you guys for sticking around. But anyways, hopefully this video was a breath of fresh air here on the channel to show you guys that I'm still alive and the Civic is still here. If you want to see all the stuff I used in this video, go down to the description below. So if you guys like this video, make sure to give me a big thumbs up, subscribe down below for more. If you hate this camera angle, let me know down in the comments. I'll catch you guys in the next one. It's ALLDAYANTHONY. Peace.